All right, now you can hear me. Not a lot you can do when you have somebody, as I kick my camera furiously in the timeout, when Flau'jae Johnson got a block and then you go down the court and you turn the ball over. So hold on. Not the way that we probably should be starting off this post game. Nevertheless, here we are. Nevertheless, here we are. Let's zoom it out a little bit. This is my fault. I kicked the dog shit out of this camera a little bit earlier. There we go. All right. This is so unprofessional by me, but oh well. This is the AYS postgame show. My name is Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. Hope all of you are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. LSU falls to Iowa here tonight. Not a lot you can say other than you have someone like Caitlin Clark who just absolutely dominated you. Having 9 threes the way that she did, okay, how she did. All right. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Just not a good start by us. Not a good start. You would think that we have not been 900 episodes in. Nevertheless, here we are. All right, hold on. Not good, going good for the Lady Tigers. Not going good for AYS. Caitlin Clark was unconscious tonight. Completely 100% unconscious here tonight. There's not a lot else we can say. The only thing that I will say is that I do, and we'll break this down. There are a couple things that I wish that Kim would have done differently. For example, I wish she would have put Flau'jae on Caitlin Clark sooner than 7 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. I wish that she would have done so many other things, but nevertheless, here we are. Look, it was a great run. You just weren't deep enough. I think Smith being hurt earlier in the year hurt you more than you know, and that we will ever give either credit for or acknowledgement to. But nevertheless, her going down early in the season hurt you more than we would let on to believe. I saw a lot of people dogging Haley Van Lith tonight. I understand that she did not have a good game, but in the third quarter is where you lost it. Okay, you go into halftime, both teams trading punches, man. I mean, there's nothing I can say about the first half that, I mean, look, other than both teams trading punches. You go into halftime tied 45 all, and you come out in the third quarter and Iowa made adjustments. You did not, and they absolutely just demolished you. And at some point, you would think throughout the season that going cold offensively would hurt you. Tonight, it did. And you have had stretches throughout the year where, quite honestly, guys, that you've done this before. You even had one in the third quarter against UCLA. You were just able to overcome it. But when someone has 40 points, she is able to, create the offense by the way of the assist, as Caitlin Clark did tonight. It is what it is. By the way, you just couldn't shoot. And that's not a Haley Van Lith thing in the second half. Guys, she had 2 shots in the third quarter. Okay, she goes 0 for 2. Everybody else on the team accompanied her by not making shots. To start the third quarter, you went 2 of 16. 2 of 16, and then you got fouled. It's just not good enough. And I think that Kim got outcoached, to be honest with you. I know that Clark went insane, but she got outcoached. The simple nature that you're putting Van Lith, who, by the way, is sick, and had to have an IV before the game, had to have an IV yesterday. I just think that she should have put Johnson on Clark. And that's nothing negative towards Kim. She knows more basketball than I will ever know, okay? And she's a national championship winning coach. Guys, the downfall in this, or the bad thing, people say, well, you didn't get to the Final Four, and that's true. But if the floor is the Elite Eight, then it is what it is. I can't complain on that. You just got so many things that you got to be able to overcome. And look, you're going to be turning the page. It looks like that Angel is going to be going pro, and hopefully she gives you another year, but it's not looking that the way that she is. But it is what it is. This is the one thing I hate about having a new studio. I've messed some things up, and that is my fault. All right, let's get to a couple of your comments. Let me tell you, all post games are brought to you by our good friends over at betonline.ag. That's BET online.ag. All March Madness, the men's Final Four, the women's going into Final Four. You can bet on the game in just a minute. I think UConn plays. You can go over to betonline.ag, use that promo code BELIEVE50. That's BELIEVE50, BLEAV50 to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, where the game starts. Also, want to mention and talk about our good friends over at the Athletic Collection. They have joined the AYS team. Guys, if you want any apparel, a couple of weeks ago, I showed you all the stuff that we got. I will be showing you more of it. If you want anything LSU related, posters, shirts, stickers, they have it all. Go over to the Athletic Collection. Use the promo code AYS. That's AYS. You'll get 20% off of your purchase. That way that Brent and the guys know that Blake sent you on by. That's the Athletic Collection. It's all over our social media. You can go and find it there. Guys, I got to tell you, the merch, the stickers, the posters, you will not find better LSU or just stuff more than the Athletic Collection. And then let them know that Blake sent you on by when you get all of your stuff. Corey Hunt says, bullshit call on Reese at end should have been an and one. Look, I can't complain on a lot of things that happened tonight from an officiating. They were letting both teams play. Quite honestly, I thought it was a pretty decently officiated game. I just think, guys, quite honestly, I mean, yes, you can talk about things that you could do to Caitlin Clark in the first half. I mean, I hate to just pigeonhole in it being one thing, right? Like, I hate to pigeonhole it and just say, hey, this is the issue that you had. This is the issue that you have to maintain. But the third quarter is where you lost it. Let's go to the third quarter. You start the third quarter, first shot from Iowa was a Clark three made. Johnson got fouled. She hits 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So you're down 1. Okay, well, Clark hits a 3. Who would have ever thought that, right? Johnson gets fouled. She hits 2 free throws. Johnson cuts to the basket for 2 on a Reese assist. She gets 2. You take the lead. That would be the last time of the night that you took the lead. You can't get back on transition defense. That was I think for me, the biggest thing about Kim being, at least in my opinion, a little bit outcoached here was just the simple nature was LSU would make a basket, they would turn right around, and Iowa would put the pressure on them, and they couldn't respond to it. So you give up an easy basket, you had the lead, you lose it. Haley Van Lith misses 2 bad threes back-to-back after Angel Reese gets an offensive rebound. This is what started the bad shooting for LSU in the third. Clark then comes back down the court, hits a 3 on Haley Van Lith. Poa airballs a 3. Clark comes back down the court, hits another 3. Timeout LSU. Johnson, so you get the ball back. Johnson misses a shot. She gets our own offensive rebound. She puts a putback. And then you go down on defense. You get a block by Angel Reese. Angel comes down the court and gets fouled. She hits 1 of 2 from free throws. Here's another thing, too. Angel missed too many free throws tonight. I understand that her ankle was bothering her, and we'll talk about Angel Reese more later on and everything that she's done for LSU. Gosh, you can't miss free throws, even if it's her. She missed a lot tonight. I think she was either 3 of 8 from the free throw line or 3 of 9. We'll have to pull it up. What was she? 3 of 8? Okay. So 3 of 8 from the free throw line. 4 minutes left to go. So Clark hits another 3 after Reese hits one or two of her free throws. Clark comes back down the court, hits her eighth three of the game. Guys, I put a massive star in our notes here. I was like, that's ball game. If you're not going to defend her, if you're not going to put Johnson on her, if you're going to continue to defend like that, she is going to obliterate you, and she did. Quite honestly, she did. And 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. I write down in the handy-dandy notebook here, it's over, but it was what it was. You go 2 of 16 for shooting with a minute left to go in the third quarter. You get a block, and then Morrow gets a quick bucket. Johnson gets a block, and then you're going up for 2, but Haley Van Lith turns the ball over. That lost you the game right there. And look, I know Kim would probably get upset. Excuse me. She just flatly got out coached tonight. You cannot. I mean, in the first quarter, you take Haley Van Lith out, you put Poe in on Clark. Defensively, things got better. But why you started the third quarter not putting someone not named Haley Van Lith on her blows my mind. But it's what you did, right? Like it's what you attempted to do. It's what you tried to do. You were unable to do it. All right. If you have comments that you 1,000% want read, go over to YouTube. You can subscribe, and you can send in, like Michael Morris did here, send in a super chat. That's a 100% guarantee that your comment gets read. Michael says, should have been Poa or Johnson on Classrooms. I think he means Caitlin Clark. The whole time, not Van Lith with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Michael. 1,000%. I would look, obviously right now I can't hear or have not heard anything from Kim on her game plan or thoughts of why she put Haley Van Lith on Caitlin Clark as much as she did. But regardless, I mean, she did. And she's going to have to live with that decision. I mean, it's just such a bad game plan by her, in my opinion. So, look, Caitlin Clark, here's the game recap. Caitlin Clark goes 13 of 29 in shooting. So she didn't even have a great night shooting. She just shot, of all the shots that she made, 9 of those were from 3. She scored 41 points, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. LSU just got absolutely demolished at the three-point line. LSU goes 8 of 24. Iowa goes 13 of 31. I think for me, just the biggest thing in all this, LSU out-rebounded Iowa 55-37. But the putback buckets, I mean, it's unreal. Points in the paint, 42-34. That cannot happen. When you have a team that you're going up against and it's going to light you up from the 3, you got to dominate them down low. Not having the rotation that you needed there really, really hurt you. How about this? LSU got 23 offensive rebounds. 23. If they put back half of those, they would have been in a much better position. But again, it just, like Flaugier was your only weapon offensively that was worth a damn tonight. Okay, she goes 10 of 18 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, though. Okay, she scored 23 points. I thought Anissa Morrow had a really off game, 7 of 18, 14 points. Reese had 17. She actually had 20 rebounds, 10 offense, 10 defensive rebounds. She had 3 blocks and 4 assists. She had 2 big steals in the first half, too, that gave you the lead. But the story of the night, and listen, I want to say this, too, okay? Caitlin Clark, to me, and this has gotten a lot of talk over the last couple of months, like I think on College Game Day, they said that she wasn't a great player because she hasn't won anything of meaning. Well, she's going to back-to-back Final Fours. And Simone Augustus didn't win anything of meaning. And she's a legend. Look, we can have our opinions. You can have your opinion on her. I have my opinion on her, and I'm going to share it. Guys, I think she's one of the best women's basketball players I've ever seen. I think that you can make a debate. She's one of the best. Regardless of who you want to put in there, who you want to say is, that's up to you. You can't deny who she is and what she does. You simply can't. She's going to back-to-back Final Fours. I say this all the time, too. What happens in women's basketball is when you have a take, like I can come out here and say, Caitlin Clark is one of the best basketball players we ever seen. Instantly, it gets politicized. Guys, what you saw tonight is not good. She is not a good basketball player. She's an elite basketball player. And whatever your opinion that you want to have on her, you can. It's a free world and free country. Well, maybe not a free world, but it's a free country, and you're allowed to do that. But if your take and your thought is that she is not, I'm just going to be real with you, the best basketball player right now in women's basketball, from a college perspective, I think you're crazy. I legitimately think you're crazy. Look what she's doing, man. No one, when she goes off like she did tonight, nobody is better than her. Now, I think there's things in her game that she's got to get better at. I think there's things that she's got to refine on. But her and Angel Reese traded blows tonight. And I do think that ultimately, too, when Angel got hurt in the second quarter, things did start going a little downhill for me from there. And you couldn't get the ball to her. She couldn't get her shots off. It looked like she was laboring a lot. And it stinks. Let me talk on Angel Reese right quick, because a lot's going to be made of it. The guy that plays Ted Lasso did the "You Can't See Me in the Stands." Guys, I think that's fair game. I think it's 1,000% fair game for anybody from Iowa to do the "You Can't See Me." Now, let me say this, and this is to Angel Reese. Angel Reese is a legend at LSU. She will always be a legend at LSU. I don't think that some will agree on this right now. She's one of those ones in a decade, 2 decades, she gets a statue outside of maybe not the PMAC, but the arena that LSU is building. I do think that she is a legacy player that's been at LSU. She won LSU's only national title in basketball. She was a star in doing that. Regardless of her choice, I'm just going to say this because I do think she's going to go next level. I have no sourcing on that. I have no idea. So if she comes back, fantastic. If she does not, I just want to tell her thank you for everything that you've done. You have made and you have been a part of growing the sport more than arguably anybody, Caitlin Clark included, but you have changed this sport forever. And women's basketball will forever, regardless of your thoughts on Angel Reese, will always be better because of her and what she did. For me, I look at her and say that she is one of the LSU greats in any sport. And you got to give that to her. Were there controversial moments? Were there things that happened that maybe you wish that didn't? Maybe she does as well. But the bottom line is she will forever be in LSU folklore. She will forever be written in the history books as one of the greats, and she needs to be. Thank you, Angel, for everything that you've done. You have put LSU on the map. Re-put LSU on the map from women's basketball. Yes. I'm watching it right now. So what we're going to do here, too, Chili says that Southern is beating LSU. Come on, man. What's going on? This is what we're going to do. I am monitoring right now. I'm going to get through all the comments basketball-wise. And we're probably just going to do a live watch of the game. But LSU currently, yes, is down to Southern. They have looked like ass tonight. They have looked like complete ass. But thank you, Chili, for the super chat, and we will talk about it. LSU currently right now, I believe, are they still down 3 in the 7th? Not good. Penn Jones with a $4.99 super chat. Hold on 1 second, Penn. Yeah, they are down 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Neal did hit a home run. He's up first right now for LSU. Penn Jones says, I don't gives a damn who was guarding Clark. You're not stopping 28 to 32-foot jumpers. I 1,000% agree with that. When Clark is shooting from the logo, guys, and here's what the stupid take of all takes is. Caitlin Clark shoots a 3 from the logo, and you're like, oh, man, Haley Van Lith sucks. Yeah, so about that. Guys, she's shooting from the logo. The truth be told, anybody else in America not named Steph Curry shoots from the logo, you probably don't do anything to them so you don't accidentally foul them and send them to the line. She's just not one of she is one of those players, even probably beyond half court. Once she passes half court, you got to be on her like white on rice on a paper plate in a snowstorm, because if you're not, she is going to absolutely just destroy you. She did tonight. There are some threes that Haley Van Lith off of ball screens and off of just general screens that she was able to get open, wide open shot. But I will say there were a lot of times too. Now, Caitlin Clark went 9 of 20 from the three. Guys, she shot 23s. She didn't even make half of them. Now, 45% shooting from three is fantastic. I'm not saying it's not. She messed up more than she made. So I do think that there was a better defending on her than people are giving credit for. She just hooved that bitch up 20 times and said, yay, yay. There's nothing you can do about her shooting it from the logo. Nothing. I mean, get in her face, guard her better, but that's not on Van Lith. In my personal opinion, that's on Kim. I mean, guys, it's on Kim. You can't put Van Lith on her. It's like, what I thought about after like the fourth three that Van Lith, or third three that Clark made on Van Lith. Remember in the movie Remember the Titans when Ryan Gosling goes and gets Petey and says, he whispers in his ear like, hey man, you got to go in. I can't cover this guy. I mean, Van Lith's got to go to Kim and be like, look, listen, if we want to win, I was going to say, like the Friday Night Lights, put Booby in. That's on Kim. That's on Kim. So, look, you've had 2 fantastic years. There's nothing that you can debate about that. Nothing you can debate about that. It's been 2 really good years for LSU women's basketball. Better than we've ever had here in a while. All right. Zach Aaron on YouTube with a $4.99 super chat says, near impossible to repeat in college basketball. It's very true. He says an Elite 8 run is still a great year. A lot like how 2019 reset expectations in football. Same with baseball here. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to repeat in anything, ever. I mean, guys, LSU is currently down 3 to Southern right now in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. So I completely agree with Zach here. Thank you, Zach, for the super chat. It's a very good point here. John Sibley Butler says, Blake, how would you grade the Tigers overall this season? Do you think that Kim will continue to keep the excitement in basketball the next 5 years? I give it an A, man, really and truthfully. I think when Sanaya Smith went down, I think that was a massive hit. And I think it shows us, and stay with me on this. Guys, we have seen in multiple sports what happens when you go in the transfer portal and try to build your team. You can bring in a lot of superstars. You can be really good. You can be a really good team. But regardless of the sport, regardless of what happens, we are seeing teams in all sports that are portal heavy not live up to the expectations that they should. We're talking about LSU women's basketball tonight. They went in the portal heavy. They did not go where they wanted to go and win a national title. You've seen other teams in football. You've seen teams in baseball do it, and it hasn't bode well for them. Now, LSU last year, for baseball, was the exception to that rule. This year, historically, when you're going into the portal the way like that, it doesn't always work for you, okay? So I will just make it well known that everybody that is a college sports fan, you need to monitor that. When your team or a team goes into the portal heavy, well, what should you expect? what do you expect? LSU is out of the bottom of the 7th. They're still down 9-6. They're still down 9-6. Rick says we were thin already, but losing Smith and Poole early was too much. Amazing they got this far without both of them. I agree with Rick there. I agree with Rick. I think it's an A+ type of season. Okay, I think that you did better than I honestly expected. Guys, I'll be real with you. I thought you were going to get beat by UCLA. To just be 100% candid with you, I thought that you just at some point you would run out of depth and something would go wrong, and tonight it did. You might have, because of injuries, exceeded expectations, right? You might have exceeded some expectations that maybe you weren't expecting. Corey says, so I'm going to beat Reese. Maybe saying bet. I'm going to bet Reese comes back. She makes more at LSU than the WNBA. I mean, look, I'm just going based off of her words. I have no idea. I have not asked. Don't ask. If she comes back, that'd be fantastic. If she doesn't, that'd also be fantastic for her. I mean, look, I don't know. Okay, like I legitimately don't know. I do think that she will go based off just some of her comments, but we'll see. We'll see. If she comes back, then shit. John Sibley Butler, who sent in the $20 super chat, says, great season for the Tigers. Baseball might drive me to drink. Yeah, I mean, look, we can talk about this a little bit here. We can watch the game a little bit. I'll watch it with you if you're watching it. We'll get to some of your comments. If you want your comments read 100%, send in a super chat. Send in that super chat. To Lewis, Smith got hurt and Poole got kicked off. Nookie Palmer 2.0. Interesting. Says Blake, Matt Moscona said we had the best pitching staff in the country after the first weekend. We do not have the best pitching staff in the country. You just faced probably the best pitching staff in the country in Arkansas. Vehemently disagree. C-Man says Kim got very little from the high school recruits. That's true. But she also didn't give them a lot of experience or run either. You don't know what they would have done. I mean, look, Michaela, for what it's worth, she didn't have a great year. I think she had a good year, not a great year. You probably were expecting a little bit more from her, and you didn't get it. I do think that we were expecting a lot more from her, and that we did not get. Holden Lee says, rebuild or not, shouldn't be losing to Southern. Yeah, so look, I'm going to give it a little bit longer. I'm going to give it, because we're still talking women's basketball. I'll get to some of those comments. We got to talk a lot of baseball here, and I'll watch the game with you. A lot of you asked me to watch the game with you, and I don't like doing that because I curse too much. Nookie says, I would have put Angel Reese on her. Who are you talking about? Clark? We had enough height down without Angel down low. Angel would have gotten pieced up. I mean, I get what you're trying to say there, Nookie. Angel Reese would have gotten pieced up. With all due respect to Angel, she would have gotten pieced up. Brandon, and she did. When Clark made a three in her face, she got hit with a step back. Wasn't it? I think she got hit with that step back, and then Clark just, that was the one that Clark shoots the three and then goes down the court and was like, yeah. Alex says this baseball team is far away from being where they need to be. Oh, God. Heavens, yes. Heavens, yes. Penn Jones says 30 missed shots within 3 foot will get you beat every time, no doubt. C-Man says Del Rosario needs a lot of off-season improvement. For someone who is 6'6", she needs to at least rebound better. Don't disagree. Don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with that. I was expecting a lot more from her, to be honest. When Smith went down, I was expecting a little bit more from her. If we're just keeping it, as the kids say, one hundo. One hundo. This camera's driving me fucking crazy. I kicked the shit out of it, then didn't check it. Thought I was all right. I was not. There we go. I was not. Sorry about that, guys. Should have been more prepared. That's on me. That is on me. Won't happen again. I mean, I'm sure it will happen again. But yeah. TJ says Jada Rashard will play better defense than Van Lith. I don't really think that that's hard to do. I don't think that that's hard to do at all. Looks like Helmers just gave up a base hit. There's a runner on first, top of the 8th, 2 outs for LSU baseball. I'm trying to wait. Because I don't want to overreact to this LSU baseball team right now. I really legitimately don't. Because if I do, and I lose my temper over a fucking midweek game, I'll hear about it. And I really just don't want to fucking hear about it. Michael says Rosario is very uncoordinated. I mean, she's a freshman. I mean, Michaela Williams was the best player in the country last year. She did not look great. She needs, and I think she will be great. I think she's going to be a great player. But guys, they're freshmen. Kevin Abear says that the Astros have a no-no going in the 9th. Hey, what happened to the Astros in the first 4 games of the season? I'm asking for a friend. I don't necessarily remember. Oh, that's right. They got a 4-game swept by the Yankees. Hell yes. All right, we're in a commercial break. Give me a thumbs up if you want to get to some baseball talk. We'll watch the game here. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. If you want to continue to talk some women's basketball, we'll talk some women's basketball with you. You let us know when we'll do that. Todd Davis says, I agree that Poa or Johnson should have been on Caitlin Clark, not Van Lith. CC, Caitlin Clark is not very athletic. I disagree with that. And could have been slowed down by Johnson and Poa. I vehemently disagree that she's not athletic. I vehemently disagree. And quite honestly, I don't really think, oh, shit, he went to Thatcher Hurd. Jay just went to Thatcher Hurd. Well, I guess he should have, because Saturday was the only time that he pitched, and it was not that long. Bro, Thatcher Hurd is 1-4 on the year. He's got 35 Ks and 12 walks. Spectrum Wellcare says South Carolina gonna beat Clark's ass. Probably. But here's the thing about what Caitlin does. I don't disagree with you. South Carolina's got a lot of length that can get to Caitlin, but it doesn't, guys, listen to me. It does not matter when you can pull up from the fucking logo and drain threes like you're Steph Curry. I mean, she's Steph. I think things in comparisons that people give her, like she's Steph Curry with a ponytail. The fucking right she is Steph Curry with a ponytail. Regardless of anything that politically that that people believe, I don't give a shit. Call her what she is. Give her flowers, man. Give her flowers. Why wouldn't you give her flowers? Why wouldn't you give her flowers? I think that's so stupid when people do that shit. Right? Like, give that girl her fucking flowers. She's good, man. One of the best. One of the best. I don't know what's going on with this damn thing. Guys, did we get thumbs up in the chat? Basing for some baseball talk. Jamie says LSU softball. Yeah. TJ says that Jada Williams and the Big Four will be the best backcourt in the country. You hope it will be. You hope it will be. Because if it's not, you're in trouble. Michael Morris says, go UConn, USC, or NC State. Anyone but South Carolina or Iowa. Yeah, a lot of people want to see somebody new. And I don't blame them. And thank you, Michael, for the super chat. I don't blame them. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think it's going to be Iowa or South Carolina. All right, LSU gets out of the top of the eighth. They go, top of the eighth. They go to the bottom of the eighth now. LSU's down 9-6 to Southern. They better get with it. Because, listen, if you're going to find out from me if I think midweek games matter really quickly in about 15 minutes. Because I'm going to blow a fucking gasket. I'm legitimately going to blow a fucking gasket. Rodney Kraft says, anything to get excited about with men's basketball recruiting? In fairness, I have not been plugged in enough, and that's on me. That's on me. They did get a big-time recruit the other day, but they got to continue to attack the portal. And if Matt McMahon does not, then there's no telling. Trey tells me to take deep breaths. Look, all right, screw it. We're going to get to some LSU stuff here, some LSU baseball. Look, I can't. I legitimately can't take deep breaths on this team. Look, from an LSU baseball perspective, guys, last week I picked LSU to lose 2 out of 3 to Arkansas. It's the best team in the country. It was the best team without a shadow of doubt that you've played this year. And it's never too early in the season to get swept. Ever too early in the season to get swept. You got swept. I don't care that it's in March. When you're in conference play, the worst thing that can happen to you on a weekend is getting swept. Now, it doesn't end your season. Doesn't even come close to ending your season. But now that you're in a midweek and you're down to Southern right now, 9-6, regardless if you come back or not, you start questioning, like, what's really going on? And the frustration from Jay that you see on his face, the frustration from some of these guys that you would contend to be leaders. Guys, I got to be real with you. You're not that far off. But, you competed with the number one team in the country, and you could make the argument you're a few plays away from taking that series against you're a play away, really, from taking that series against Florida. But you're a play or two away against Arkansas from winning that series on the road. The problem is, guys, you're the second worst team in the West, and you're one of the worst teams in the SEC right now from a record standpoint. Your record says what you are. Regardless of how close you are, close is only right in horseshoes and hand grenades. And maybe what's the thing with the board and the beanbags? Bingham just got plunked. All right, so LSU's got a runner bottom of the eighth on first. Southern has not looked bad tonight. Let me catch you up in case you were watching a basketball game and weren't watching it. Southern hit a home run early in the game off of Cade Anderson, a 3-run bomb over the left field fence. LSU would come charging back and get 3 runs. They would tie it. They hold on. They would tie. I was getting a recruiting football update. They would tie it. Then Lore would come in. Bases would be loaded. He would give up that boy Tommy. Tommy Tanks with a line drive single into left field. He would give up a clearing, bases clearing, bases were loaded, bases clearing double. Very next batter, he give up a 2-run bomb. And then, if I'm not mistaken, somebody walked in a run or gave up a hit to get him a run to make it 9-6. LSU would score. Brady Neal hit a bomb tonight. So yeah. Tom, I disagree. It's not just a midweek when you got swept. It's not just a midweek when you got swept. Listen, we've seen too many LSU baseball teams in the past come off a very bad weekend and lose a midweek, and everybody says, it's just a midweek. No, you threw a lot of your big-time arms tonight. Cade Anderson was an arm that you expected. Justin Lohr is an arm that you need to get going. Guys, he's given up a bases-clearing double against Southern. And Southern's not a bad baseball team, to be real with you. They're not a bad baseball team. I think that they're either undefeated or close to being undefeated in the conference or the SWAC. Bullshit. 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 And if they win, and from an RPI standpoint, if they win their conference, this midweek does mean something when you're on that borderline. If LSU goes 13-17 in conference, which is looking like that might be what happens to them, okay? Beating a team that gets into the tournament on a midweek, regardless if you're home and away, does stuff for your RPI. It's why Jay went all in for beating Southeastern on the road, okay? You cannot lose these midweeks when you're losing weekends. You can't. Or it's the opposite. It can be the complete opposite, like what Florida's doing. Florida don't give two shits about a midweek, haven't cared about a fucking midweek all year, but Jack Caglione in the bottom of the ninth hits a home run to win it against Mississippi State, which, by the way, Florida is squeaking by in these series. They squeaked by against LSU on Saturday 2 weeks ago, and they're squeaking by Mississippi State because the best player in college baseball has to hit a home run to walk you off. And they win all three series that they play in. Guys, they've won every series that they've been in. But it doesn't matter that they're losing midweeks, because once they get to the weekend, they're winning. I tell you this, though. I would rather lose this midweek game and sweep Vandy, or I would rather lose this midweek game and win 2 out of 3 and beat Vandy at home. But you can't go 2-2 during the week. I get to Monday, but maybe it's just me. Something's off with this team. Something is off with this team. Then you go to Tennessee in a couple weeks. The team this LSU team right now can't go to Tennessee. Guys, I'm fearful you go to Tennessee and get swept. Are you seeing from anything from LSU baseball right now that would lead you to believe that they can go to Knoxville and not get swept? Oh, well, Blake, they're hitting some home runs. I don't give a fuck. So is Tennessee. Adam says, should we be concerned that Keelan Moses in A&M, he's been very quiet on about LSU lately? I don't know what's going on with him, man. I mean, to be real with you, Adam, just being real. I'm so tired of the flip-flopping. Not from him, just in general. Just in general. I bugs the shit out of me. Let me I need to say something right quick. And this is going to vehemently make sure that I never work at Barstool Sports. Neither did it probably I want to work there. Dave Portnoy is an asshole. He's rode this Caitlin Clark dick all the live long day. No pause. He's on Caitlin Clark's dick. There's no other way to say it. Tonight, Dave Portnoy put on Twitter Okay? Let me give you some reference of what I'm talking about. Tonight, Dave Portnoy said he tweeted out that the CEO of Barstool Sports said he hated LSU, and he'll say, "Oh, I was just joking." The fuck he wasn't joking, because he'll come down here in football season and ask all you son bitches to go to Fred's, and you'll go like, "Oh my God, Dave Portnoy, all 5'9" of him," and then you'll go to Fred's and try to hang out with him. I love Ben Mintz, love him. Ben has been on the show. I hate when this is the difference between Caitlin and I. I couldn't do this because she hugs Angel Reese. They're competitors, something that you've never done. You are the most unathletic human being I've ever seen in my life that's in our space. You have built an amazing business. Congrats to you. Athletically, you are horrible at everything that you do. I am tired of people and places like Barstool, you as an LSU fan, allow them to get away with stupid shit like this. Meanwhile, some of you will shit on the local people that are here every day covering this fucking sport or covering your favorite team. You'll shit on the local guy, but then what you won't do is go over to Dave Portnoy and talk about how big of a bitch he's being and reference to, not that he is a bitch, but he's acting like one, and all the shit he talks about LSU. Don't come to Fred's anymore. Don't come down to any of these casinos. Please, everyone, come spend your money here. Fuck that. Meanwhile, you'll have these little cliques of people who will talk shit about local guys who all they do all day is work their asses off to cover the team that you care about, and you talk shit about them. Oh, this dude's an asshole. Go get on Portnoy's ass instead of going to Fred's trying to hook up with 18 and 19-year-olds because you're divorced, you go to tanning beds, you don't have a life. Secretly, you probably need to be in therapy. But shit on the local guy. Fuck that. I'm tired of people in the media talking shit on LSU. He's built a fantastic company. Can't take that away from him. Can't take that away from him. But the bottom line is, when he goes on Twitter, I hate LSU. I couldn't do this. Caitlin Clark is an angel. Fuck you. That's why I hope Michigan gets their shit kicked in this year. By the way, while Sam Petito's there, they're going to kick everybody's ass. All right, LSU scores a run. Run on first, 2 outs. Hayden Travinski is up in the bottom of the 8th. Tom with some stars. Thank you so much, buddy. He says that Dave is a TTUN fan, FM. No doubt. No April Fools. I'm not April Fooling this. Coach Ken says no April Fools. Hell no. No April Fools. But remember now, he'll come down here and say, everybody go to Fred's. And y'all will remember that. Then what he'll do is he'll make a half-ass apology on stage, like he did this year about Angel Reese, and say, oh, I love Angel Reese. It's just all in content and fun. No, it ain't. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. All right, Travinski got runners on first and second. And 2 outs. You got, looks like Brady Neal coming up to the plate. God, get a base hit, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. You're down 2 runs. You swing at the first pitch and hit a little dribbler to second base. It makes no sense. So LSU got to go to the top of the 3rd, down 2, 9-7. God damn it. This is what I'm talking about with this team, man. This is what I'm talking about. They have I just don't know anymore. I legitimately just don't know anymore. All right. Yeah, it was either going to be that or a double play. You're right. You're right. All right. We'll stay here and watch the rest of the game. Dude. Alex says 0 clutch hitting. No doubt. 0 clutch hitting. 0 clutch hitting. You can't do that, man. And that goes a little bit to the experience. This goes a little bit to the experience. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. John Silly Butler says, looks like the Tigers have no life, no rah-rah. I hope the rally caps happen in the ninth. Thatcher Hurd is back out there. What a joke. Jordan Strahan says, have you seen Lacey make some great catches in practice? I have seen Kyron make a lot of great catches in practice. A lot of great catches in practice. He's looked phenomenal. All right, there's going to be a fly out to, looks like a fly out to Brown or a base hit to Brown. Yeah, it's going to be a line drive base hit to Brown. Oh, God. I tell you what, if Southern scores a run here, it might be over. It might be over. In reference to Kyron, yeah, we saw him make an unbelievable catch against Jordan Gilbert the other day when we were at practice for the whole one. He went over his back and mossed him. He did it again today against Jordan Gilbert again and mossed him. I mean, and here's the thing. It's not like Gilbert's in bad position. It's not like he's making bad plays. It's just that I don't know how you defend what Kyron Lacey's doing right now. I mean, physically, if Kyron can catch the ball, the dude is a freak of nature. Dude legitimately is a freak. But, I mean, Gilbert, like, was even tackling him, and he was going down, and he still goes over his back and catches it. I mean, it's a PI. Like, you can ask Wilson Alexander. I went up to the refs. So they have referees all across the field. And when they're doing 7-on-7, when they're doing like scrimmages, guys, you can ask anybody that's on that sideline. I will walk up to a ref that's on there and say, "Hey, boss, would you in a game call that would you throw a flag on that?" And they'll tell me yes or no, and I'll ask for a quick explanation, and they will tell me. I mean, like, listen, there's people all along the sideline. Like, I will go and ask that question. Why didn't you call it? Can you tell me? I'm trying to learn, like, the way that you see it. Well, it's too bang bang. Or, for example, he had his hand turned. Just because the ball hit on his shoulder doesn't mean, like, there's just a whole different thing that you learn from the game when it comes from their eyes. Not that I agree with them, but it's the truth. Greg Porsche on Facebook says, what do you think the odds are against Vandy this weekend? Be lucky if we win game, maybe. You'll win. I think you'll win a game. I think you'll win Friday or game one. But, yeah. Wilk says, besides the no-hitter, not too fun being a Stros and Tigers fan right now. Yes, Stros got swept by the Yankees. I don't even know what they did tonight. Stephen Perilou says, Blake, from a coaching standpoint, what can Jay do at this point to light some damn fire under them? I don't know what he can do. I mean, because right now you got runners on first and second, one out in the top of the ninth. I don't think that there's anything you can do. At some point, it's got to come internally. If it didn't start when Jay got tossed, right? Like, Jay got tossed on purpose so that his team would have some life and get some life, and it didn't work. It backfired on him. It backfired on him. Rick says that Hurd seems to have lost it. Yeah. Hell yeah, he has. I mean, that's a good pitch on that 2-0. Kling's in center field. Jesus Christ. I hope he doesn't have to come to bat in the ninth. He comes to bat in the ninth, we're losing. All right, another good breaking ball by Hurd. 2-2. Come on, man. Just throw a fucking strike, get 2 outs, or get a ground ball. Get a ground ball, get out of that inning. Ball 3. God, he's got to generate a ground ball here. Get you out of the inning. He's got to get you out of the inning here. Can I go on a small mini rant very quickly? Here's a small mini rant. I hate when LSU has events. Like LSU women's basketball just played and LSU men's baseball is playing. God damn it. Thatcher Hurd just walked the bases loaded. Dude. When he loses it, brothers and brothers and sisters in Christ, he loses it. He loses it. All right. I'm out of here. Double play fucking ball, man. Who was that at short? Who was that at shortstop? Was that Milam? God damn, dude. Hurd just got you double play ball. What a joke. Dude, that's a fucking joke. All right, so you're down 10-7. Base is still loaded. Another ground ball. In case you're wondering why the long pause, there was a play to play ground. Thatcher Hurd gets another ground ball. Guys, that's not on Hurd. Pearson makes the throw. Maybe they're going to – I mean, guys, he's in the line. I mean, that's a bad throw from Neal. Horrible throw by Neal. Horrible throw by Neal. I mean, he's in the line. Dude, I got to be real. I've never seen Jay this pissed off. He looks exhausted at this point. Yeah, Trey says that Jay's about to have a nervous breakdown. Fucking right he is. He's in the line. I mean, well, first and foremost, Bear's got to come off of the bag quicker than that. Get off the bag. See, this is why I don't watch games with y'all. That's why I don't watch games and live stream. This is why I don't do it, because it's exhausting. And I didn't even get to finish my mini rant. I hate when LSU has multiple sports going at the same time. It is so aggravating because I can't talk what I need to talk about. I mean, this show's it's not a throwaway, but Jay's going to go out and protest, or no, he's going to go get hurt. I mean, that's not on Thatcher Hurd. He comes in for Aiden Moffitt. I mean, that's just not on Hurd. I mean, there's nothing that Hurd can do on that. 2 plays back-to-back that should have gotten you out of the inning, 2 errors. It can't get much worse than this, can it? I really don't. I really don't think that it can. And what's crazy is, man, they're talented, but they can't put it together. Holden Lee says, I feel bad for Jay at this point. You should feel bad. You should feel bad. So we go to a timeout. How's everybody's day been going? See, that's what I hate about doing these. Jordan says, if they lose to McNeese after this game, who? LSU? I mean, at this point, you need to expect anything. Dwayne says this is not coaching. This is guys who haven't got their head in the game. Well, here's the thing about coaching. You bring in all the players, and you're responsible for every action that they do on the field because you recruit them to be there. But to your point, Jay can't get – you're right that Jay cannot get their head out of their asses. And look, what do you tell Brady Neal there? You made an error, okay, but Brady Neal's competing. I mean, it's a hard thing to do. By the way, Volpe just got an RBI single right back up the middle for the Yankees. They're about to start the season fall 5-0. Ren on YouTube says it feels like the Arkansas sweep has completely demoralized this team. Well, grow up, move on. Like Jesus Christ. Jordan says, do we switch out Braswell to try anyone else? Braswell hadn't been your issue. Braswell didn't make that error at short. Milam did. I'm not saying he's playing great. Braswell is not even remotely close to the person I would take out first. Clean, Neal, can't really say Pearson. I know that he had 2 errors tonight, but Brady Neal just had 1. Paxton Clean hadn't hit a ball in a month. He's got 1 base hit in a month. And who are you going to put him in for? You just put Milam in at short, and he couldn't make a play. Michael Blanco says 4 months to football. That's right. Alex, I understand that both costed runs. You know what he also didn't do? He didn't give up any of the home runs tonight. Justin Lohr did. I mean, who are you going to put him in for? Please tell me who you're going to put in for him. Please. Now, Milam gets a ball to short, and he gets to play. He makes the out, as I say that. Brock Benoit says the issue is the lack of plate discipline, in my opinion. Free bases given by the batters is obvious. All right, so we go to the bottom of the ninth. LSU's down 12-7. Unless they make a historic run here, they're going to lose in the midweek to Southern. And we're going to get Tyler Alexander, our good friend, in here. All right, hold on. I'm about to have a guest. I gotta get my boy to change his Twitter handle. TAAAA. Oh shit. Dylan Holly says, Blake, we are pressing the button yet. Blake, we pressing the button yet? I'm holding it in my hand. I'm not pressing it yet. You got a long way to go. Greg says, how's that panic button doing? I hadn't hit it yet. Not yet. This weekend, I might hit it this weekend though. That's the guy from Ted Lasso that did the All right, so Stephen Milam up to the plate. He's got a 3-0 count. If he swings here, I might lose my shit. All right, he walks. So no outs, bottom of the ninth. Milam walks to start off the inning. Todd Davis says Southern has only beaten LSU once since 2019. They have lost 15 in 6 straight. Didn't they beat Maneri that year that we beat Oregon in a regional? I'm pretty sure they beat LSU that year. That wasn't it Maneri's last year? Pretty sure it was Maneri's last year that they beat. All right, so Josh Pearson's up in a 1-1 count. I would rather talk about football at this point. Well, send in questions. Listen, send in questions. Send in super chats. If you want something read, send it in. What do you? Uh-oh. Damn, what a play. Damn, I thought. What is Stephen Milam doing? I mean, did it hit off the wall? Let me see if I can hear an explanation. Somebody was given the safe sign. One of the umpires was given a safe sign, and that's why Milam was running. Oh, it hit the wall. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's not a catch. So how are they ruling Milam out? Oh, so they're calling Pearson safe at first, and they're going to say Milam was out because he didn't go to second. All right, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, it's a right call. Now that we figured everything out, so ball's off the wall and left. They call it a non-catch. He throws it to second base. Milam forced it second. Fuck me. Pause. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ivan says, cannot stand the fact that we're losing to Southern. Reese coming back to LSU will be due to NIL money. Should be good next year. Let's hope she does. All right. We're going to finish it here with you since we're down in the ninth. I'll probably be heading over to Carter, the Power Show, after this. Brandon Reese says, ask Blake, which football position have you been impressed with lately? The offensive line. Just how physically good they are. Probably wide receiver being the second, but without a question, it's got to be the it's got to be the offensive line. Swing and a miss by Brown. He goes down, 2 outs, runner on second in the bottom of the ninth. How are you late on an 86-mile-an-hour fastball? Brandon Reese says these young guys can't hit. No, they cannot. David says, does Georgia Amore from Virginia Tech come to LSU? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. They need help. They need help. They need serious help. Cormier says LSU looks how Southern should have looked tonight. That's probably accurate. That's probably accurate. Bingham hits a line drive in right field. That is going to be an out. LSU has lost to Southern. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm not gonna I can't. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.